Welcome back to Shaw Spotlight. I'm here with Rotary's Health and Hunger Now Committee Co-Chair, Lloyd Mack, and today we're talking about the Now program. Lloyd, you've been a part of Rotary for 28 years now, which is amazing. What an accomplishment. Why do you love being a part of Rotary?
Well, I got involved with Rotary to give back to my community, and the benefit of membership is working with others of like-minded individuals for the same common goal is really what I love about it.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, Rotary's done so much good for our community.
You know, it's done a lot of good all over the world. It's out there in 2,000 countries and a million Rotarians working for the betterment of serving their communities and their fellow man.
That's a good point. That's so true. That's amazing. So how did the Now program get started?
Well, the Now program got started. Uh, well, the need for the program was identified in the fall of 2018. And our Rotary district, District 5550, had a goal of eliminating child poverty. And our club had a small subcommittee that met with other groups in the community to see what was being done and to see what we might be able to do. We realized that we couldn't do it all and that we had to determine what small part we could bite off. And it was something we could tackle, was the Now program.
So why was it important to start the Now program in our community?
Well, during those community discussions with our partners, it was asked what children who accessed the school nutrition programs did for nutrition on weekends, and it has been long accepted that children that aren't hungry learn better, and by lessening the amount of or the degree by lessening the number or the degree of undernourishment that children have, we thought that we could have better lasting outcomes, especially if we could add the weekend to the week so that they start the week off right, start the week off nourished and feeling healthy and ready to learn. And it increases not only education rates, but there's also studies that say it increases behaviors and just reduces the risk for other diseases, which we thought was important.
Yeah, that's amazing, especially since they need access to food on the weekends. And if they're not getting it because they're not in school, what a great program that can provide that.
Yeah.
So how many schools did you have to start and how many kids were a part of the program?
Well, we started with a pilot program involving just one school, King George. It had 17 students in it, and we did it for 15 weeks in the spring of 2019. It was important for us to determine our capacity to support a program, both financially and with volunteers. And it was quickly recognized that there was a need, and that that need was not just in King George School, but throughout the community. So from the outside, Rotary had determined it was that we could take the lead, like I said, and get it started and get it rolling, but that it would have to be because of the scope of financial scope and the volunteers. And the community stepped up and supported us through grants and donations and all kinds of things.
Yeah, that's great. So how many schools now have access to the program?
Well, the Now program was rolled out in the fall of 2019 to the other elementary schools in Kenora, both public schools, Catholic schools, and the Bomosy School. And that all happened in the first 2 months of the 2019-2020 school year. And then when COVID led to this closure of schools in after the spring break of 2020, the students didn't have access to school nutrition programs, not only at elementary schools, but at the high schools. And at that time, we determined we were going to have to find the capacity to include the high schools as well. So the students at Beaver Brae and St. Thomas came on board then, and so we now cover all of the schools in Kenora, all of the elementary and high schools, and all three school boards.
Wow, that's an amazing. What an accomplishment for it to have grown this far.
Well, it's an accomplishment that a lot of people deserve credit in. We've had support from not just our organization. I mean, other uh, service organizations, the Lions. We've had support from Kinsman. We've had support from uh, the Retired Teachers Organization, and they've not only lent us support in volunteering, but financially gotten grants through them. We've had grants through the Kenora Lake of the Woods Regional Community Foundation. It's and individuals have volunteered from the start just because they find it important. Whether they're in healthcare or teachers have noticed it over the years. They stepped up. Businesses have ran fundraisers for us. It's been fantastic.
Wow, well, it's certainly great to see the support the program has seen. So, how can parents sign their kids up to the program?
Well, students are signed up through their schools, and our school partners do that part of it. We send the letters, or we have sent letters out through them, through the schools to the two homes. But the parents then send back a enrollment form back to the school, and the school just lets us know numbers. We don't look at names or anything else. We let the schools because they do the end distribution. They just tell us the number they have, and we make sure they get the bags, and then they match it up with what they have. So, and yeah, no, it's that's easy done to enroll your child if you want to talk to the schools.
Yeah, that's really good. So, now that kids are learning virtually, do they still have access to the program?
Yes, as of last year, when they closed the schools in the spring after the school break for COVID-19, when it first broke out, we made sure that they'd have access. Last year, they set up the school boards set up stations and distributed them through them, and they delivered some of them as well because some parents didn't have transportation or they were working during the time that the bags were being distributed. This year, when the school year started, there were still some students taking virtual classes and again, we've had the bags going to them all year long through the schools. And some of them, again, are delivered through the virtual school boards. Like the public and the Catholic have their own, not board, but their own school that's virtual. Some of the schools have students that they just deliver them to virtually. And then now again, with the being closed again, we're delivering, or not delivering, we're giving to the schools that are making sure that if the parents want them still, that they're getting them.
Oh, that's really great. So, once the students are back in school, how do the teachers distribute the bags to the kids?
In school, the bags are typically distributed discreetly at the end of the school day so that they can try to take them home without drawing attention. And that's the entire thing is all of our school programs, like not all of our school, all of the school programs, the school nutrition programs in Kenora are open to anybody, but they are fairly discreet. And, so the same thing, we're trying to deliver them discreetly and not draw attention to them. Some schools have determined that it's best to distribute them as well, but that's up to our school partners. We just don't have the manpower.
Yeah, that's a good point. So, how many bags would you say are distributed every week?
Our bags, we distribute probably on average around 240 bags a week. We've had greater and fewer numbers than that, but it's open to changes because situations are always changing for the families, and if they want to into the program, or some of them determine that they now don't need the program, that's so it's very. Whereas our pilot project was 17 bags for the 15 weeks, ever since September of the 2019-2020 school year, it's been fluctuating number. I mean, they usually stay about the same for a month or whatever, and then it seems like, okay, well, we add a few, we drop a few, and but we're averaging around 240 right now presently.
Wow, that's a lot. So
It is.
what are in the bags? Are they allergy friendly or kid friendly?
Yes, the weekend bags are, when it's a weekend bag, when we're working with those kids that have access to the school programs during the week, and we're just giving weekend bags, we distribute 2 breakfasts, 2 lunches, and 2 snacks, and usually 2 fruits. And then we try to increase that for those that are virtual learning to 5 to 6 of each for the bags for the week-long period, when the schools are closed and the access isn't there. And so those are much bigger bags. And we make every effort to make the bags peanut friendly. And the students, that when they sign up, they can indicate allergies. And we do pack for allergies. We have some, for example, that are gluten free and some that are lactose free.
Well, that's great. I love that it's so thought out for
Yeah.
so any kid
Well,
can
we've
access
also
it.
got one, I guess. Well, I think it's down to one. We've had a couple that are fruits that they're allergic to that we have to watch for as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Can anyone volunteer to help with the program?
We've had many volunteers from the community, individuals and other organizations that I've mentioned. Some of them have volunteered as well. The St. Albans used to be a good volunteer. The Catholic Women's League came in once a month. But at present, we've kind of kept it down to our packing group anyway, down to a smaller number for obvious reasons because of COVID, and trying to keep the bubble smaller, I guess. We have a group of about 12 to 14 dedicated volunteers that we draw 8 to 10 each week for packing. It keeps kind of tight that way. But we do have people call on us when things change, and we definitely will be as well. And there's also 2 or 3 of us that do the shopping, and another 5 or so that get the deliveries out to the schools the day after we pack.
Wow, a lot of work.
Yeah, and some of our workers do all of it, so it's amazing how some of them are that involved and that dedicated to it.
Wow. So how can people donate to the Now program?
Well, support from the program is always welcomed, and donations right now could be mailed to the Rotary Club of Kenora, Box 164, Kenora, P9N 3X3, and include a note on there that it is for the Now program. We do have our own bank account, but it goes through the Rotary Club into that account. Or we could receive it as an e-transfer if they want to e-transfer TANIS, TANIS, Rotary, ROTARY, at gmail.com. That's the secretary, the treasurer, and she'll put it in the account. Again, make note that it's for the Now program.
Yeah, it's amazing. Well, thanks so much, Lloyd, for talking to me today about the Now program. I'm so glad we have this program in our community.
Well, thank you for reaching out to us and helping us tell others about it.